Welcome back to the Physical Education YouTube channel. I know you're thinking, Mr. Roberts, how could a Rubik's Cube be a part of fitness? Well, fitness is not just a physical component, it's a mental component. You have to keep yourself mentally sharp and physically sharp. So, I know maybe some of you have one of these lying around the house that has been frustrating you for years, and you're just saying to yourself, I wish I could solve it. So, my hope today is to give you kind of a breakdown tutorial on how to solve a Rubik's Cube. This is a 3x3, and this is what's called a speed cube. It just helps you move through it a little bit faster, but really any of them are good if you have the 3x3. So the first thing I want to start by saying is this. You will not be able to solve this in one day. Maybe if you follow along, you'll be able to solve it, but to actually be able to solve it, it's going to take a lot of practice. And what I would do is recommend solving it layer by layer and memorizing each layer before you move on to the next. All right, so here goes our step-by-step breakdown of how to solve this pesky Rubik's Cube. All right, the first step to solving your Rubik's Cube is understanding how a Rubik's Cube works. So if you see this middle square tells you what color it should be. And this middle square never changes. No matter how much you move it around, it always stays the same. So white is going to be white, red is going to be red, yellow, orange, blue, green, whatever colors you have, this middle one is your indicator on what color that side should be. So, how do we get started? The first thing I need to do is make what's called a cross. So I'm going to make green, 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 green across the top. And then I'm going to look at these sides as I'm doing it to match green, green, yellow, yellow. Because if we remember, this middle stays the same. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to look through my cube and I'm going to see what colors in this middle portion. So this would be one I could use, green and red. This would be one I could use, green and yellow. Okay. Now the frustrating part's going to be, how do I get them to match here? Okay, so what I have is I have a green and a red here, but if you can see, the green is touching here and the red is all the way over here. So how do I move this around so that I can get it to the top? Well, if it's right beside it like this, I turn the right down. So now it's over here, and I turn the bottom towards the red. So what that gives me is my red, red, and green. So how do I get it up to the top? Well, I turn the face, 1, 2. Now I have my red, red, and my green, green. Okay, so there's my first step, is getting a match, green, green, red, red. So now I'm going to look for my next one that I can find. It doesn't matter the order you go in, and if you get stuck on the top, I'm going to show you some ways to get around it. All right, so now that we have our 1 on the top, now I'm going to try and find some more. Remember, they have to be in the middle. So, not sure which one you have, but now what I'm going to do is this. Any one that I see that's in the side like this, I'm going to rotate it down to get it on the bottom. And then I'm going to have to rotate it around until I match a yellow. So I have yellow, yellow here, and my green. So we can remember with this side, what we did is now I can turn that green all the way up. And now I have green, 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 yellow, yellow, and red, red. So we're going to continue on. I'm going to try to find this middle piece and this middle piece. So where are they? So my whites are already lined up, and there's my green. If but I have to get it up to the top. So I turn the face to the left. Awesome. All right, I have one more to find. And if I'm a betting man, it's going to be kind of pesky. So I always want to keep this green side facing up, so that way I don't get lost in the cube. So I keep my green side facing up, and then I go hunting for my green and orange. There it is. This one's actually pretty simple because I'm just going to turn, it's already on the bottom, so I'm going to turn it so that it faces the top. And now I have my green cross, orange, white, red, yellow. Okay. So like I said, when you solve this Rubik's Cube, you're going to solve it one layer at a time. So I'm going to solve the green layer, and then the green top, and then I'm going to solve the middle, and then I'll move on down here to the bottom. So I established green is my top and blue is my bottom. All right. So I have my green cross. What's next? Okay. Some of you, when solving your cross, may have ran into this issue. And that's where, in order to move this one, this white, green, or whatever color it may be, here, I'm going to have to knock one of these out of the top. Okay, and I'm going to show you why that's okay. So if I have to do that, what I'll do is I'll turn my right, because this one is, this green and white is here. I'm going to turn my right up so that it matches. Then I'm going to turn my face up so that my green is straight across with my white. And then all I have to do is come back over here to where my green and orange was and turn it up. So that way, even if I have to knock one out, I'm still good, just like maybe with this one right here. So this green right here is flipped the wrong way, and there's a red underneath. So I turn it to the right. Then I can, even though I'm going to knock this out, I turn the right up, I turn the face left, and I turn the right back up, right? So I turn the face up, or I turn the face up, and then I can move that cross right back up. So I have red, red, yellow, yellow, orange, orange, white, white. All right, that is step one, the green cross. I would recommend staying on this step until you can repeat it over and over and over. All right, on to step two in solving the top. Step two in solving the top. The way this works is this, is I have all of, all right, step two. In order to solve the Rubik's Cube, now I have my cross, and now I'm going to be putting in my corners. So how do I get these pesky corners in there? Because now they're mixed all over the cube. Okay, two things I want to do while doing this. Number one, I want to make sure the corners are in the bottom row, and they have to have the green facing up. So if they have the green facing down like this one, we'll have to flip them, and I'll show you how to do that. But first, we'll start with the easiest. Let's say I have a green in the bottom row, and I can see the color here. Well, what I want to do is I can move that all around the bottom row and not disturb anything on the top. So I want to put it right below where I want it to go. So I have the green or the orange here, and green on the outside. All right, now remember, I keep my green top up. All right, in order to solve this corner, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this color is right underneath where it should be, and I'm going to turn it away, turn the right down, turn the bottom back, and then right where this green is and this orange is matched up, now I'm going to turn that face up, and there is one corner of the four. Okay, so all I do now is I go hunting for another one. Boom. It's actually oriented correctly, which is pretty cool. So remember, I put it right below where I want it to go. And how do I know where I want it to go? Because the red is matching, or the red is on the side where the red should be. And the green is over to the right or to the left. And what I do next is Here's my red side. I turn it to the right. I turn the bottom away. So I turn it to the right. I turn the left down. Bring the bottom back and turn the left up. Now I have both of those sides oriented correctly. Awesome. Now I only have 2 more. Okay. Oh no. My 2 more are turned to the bottom. Now, if you remember from before, I have to have that green side up. I have to have both colors that I want to see up. So if you see here, I have an open space. So that open space happens to be right on top of my bottom. So I have my piece that I want up here below it, but it's not oriented correctly. So how do I turn it? I turn the left down, I turn the bottom left, and I turn the top back up. So what did that do? If I bring my cube over, right there it is. Boom. There's my yellow. There's my green. I can now see the green. And now what I do is, if you remember, I have my yellow where I want to work here. So I turn it to the right, turn the bottom away, turn the left down, turn the bottom back, and I turn the left up. Ta-da! 1, 2, 3 of the corners are in. Okay, here we go. If you're feeling frustrated, don't worry. Just go back, rewatch. I'm going to try to make sure I bring up all the different issues that you could run into in these parts. Okay, so here's my next one. This is my corner that I need. So I come to the top. I make sure my green side is up. I turn the bottom back. There it is. There it is. Now, it's not oriented correctly. I can see my yellow and I can see my orange, but my green is on the bottom. So I have this open space, so I can turn it down, which if you look, that brings my piece up. Turn the bottom, turn the top, turn the right back up, and now I can bring that piece around to its proper spot. Because remember, I need the face, the color orange, and the green either on the right side or on the left side. In this case, I'm putting it in this corner, so I put it on the right side, right below, with the green facing out. So here's my orange side. I turn the cube, turn the bottom away, bring the left down, bring the bottom back, and turn the left up. And now I have the top of my cube solved. This is step 1. Okay, you may be saying, Mr. Roberts, I got this. What do I do? It's in the right spot, but it's not oriented correctly. Okay, so remember, anytime I want to put a piece in this top row, I have to get it in the bottom row. So if I want to make any changes to it, I have to get it out of this area. So I would turn the right down and turn the bottom away, turn the right back up. Okay, now I got that piece out, and it's right here down in this bottom row. Okay, right over here. And it's not oriented correctly, but that's okay because we've already learned how to orient it correctly. I put it right below the space I want it in. Okay, so I want it in this space, and I can move this space if I move it down. So I put it down in this space. The green part is facing down. Turn the right down. Turn the bottom to the right. And I turn the right back up. Turn the bottom. Boom. There's my piece. There's my orange. There's my green. And now I can simply turn the cube to the left. So I turn the cube to the left. And there's my green face. I turn it away, bring the top down, turn the green back over, and turn the top back up. And here I am. And that is how you solve the first layer of the cube. Okay, remember, memorize the top first. Do it over and over and over before you move on to the other steps.